She was a very loving, peaceful little girl. She was 16 years old. She was an honor roll student. And Micaiah had a motherly nature about her. She promoted peace. And that's something that I want to always be remembered. Micaiah was named after a male prophet in the Bible. She was a very
You went live already?
Yep.
Anybody on there yet?
One person just entered the room. What's up, y'all? Wow, this Micaiah shit is very heartbreaking. It's on hot new hip hop already.
I can't even imagine how that girl mama feel right now. I guess they say you win one, and so we make sure we even back the playing field, huh?
Well, they ain't even. We still down because she happened. We still got plenty of people before.
We still trying to get justice for Brianna. Shit.
We got Brianna, Trey Philando, Dante Wright.
If you really want to get physical, we still got Emmett Till.
Yeah.
Who we just recently found out because the woman came out and said that she lied.
Basically.
Which we didn't need. We knew you was lying, but was it me?
No. What's up, y'all? Whoever the one person is, y'all say what's up. Trying to give it some more time to for people to get in here, you know. Trying to make sure that none of this goes unheard of. Hold on. So just stick with us, you know, our one person, whoever it is. If y'all can say hello, tell us what's up, so we can make sure we chatting with you. Telling people we're going live. Or we live.
Some people. I put it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Look. Ain't that what we just said?
Yeah, we was just saying that.
Look, hashtag boss call would have been made. Watch your back. Police are mad. Stay focused.
Yeah, the thing is, that's the truth. These hoes addictive.
Here they are. Derek Chauvin about to be hollering for the guard. Y'all, for real, they've been acting up on social media tonight. Meek Mill, y'all smoking on that Derek Chauvin pack for 420 or nah? I mean, there's just one person in here. I'm wondering where everybody at.
Yanni on her way. She just told me.
Come through.
I can't remember the other girl's name. She told me to let her know when we go live.
Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Yanni?
We just waiting on other people, Yanni. That's it. I'm finna let Gwen know because she
Okay, 3 people in here. What's up? What's up? Y'all say what's up to us.
so we know who.
Let us know who up in here.
I think I done passed it. I'm so old. I barely know how to work this thing. I need to really just search her. Okay, I think this is it. Yanni said she thought we stopped. I'm like, you don't got our notifications on? Basically.
What's good, cousin?
Basically, Shalia.
You just let her know?
Yeah. I'll call Gwen.
You just hit Gwen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all, we are going to dive right in a minute. Y'all just hold up because I know we got some. I know it's time for us to talk. Okay, it's about that time.
He can be guilty all day, Shalia, because another little black girl that was 15 just got killed in Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can't get a fucking break. I'm so over America. I feel like Trey was just saying,
please don't tell me that. My heart.
Girl, let me tell you what happened to her. It's such bullshit. Some girls came to her house. 4 little girls came to her house to jump her. She called the police for help. The police get there and they shoot her 4 times.
Crazy shit. They said that she was actually the one that called the police. Imagine that. Then she got murdered. Exactly.
The fact that you, as a black person, you can't even tell your kids to call the police is bullshit. They acting the fool.
Y'all, they are acting a fool on social media tonight. Rightfully so. They lucky I ain't got one because I definitely would have been on their ass my damn self. For real.
I just can't.
Because I was pissed.
It's like, the thing that pisses me off is like, I'm really elated that we finally got justice for somebody. But just keeping it real is like, it was undeniable. Like, for real, we shouldn't be praising the judicial system. What's the little girl name that recorded the thing, that recorded it? Her name was, I can't remember her name. But she the one that got this man justice because it's undeniable. Like, I don't even know how they selected jurors because nobody in America didn't see that.
Yeah.
And there was no way that you could see that and say it wasn't murder. Although it is some still stupid ass motherfuckers trying to say that. I know a lot of people on social media to the point that I had to just disconnect and be like, okay, Courtney, you can't cuss out every white person. We can't do nothing without being murdered. We can't go to the corner store. We can't get pulled over. We can't even sleep in our own bed, our own home. You ain't lying. Darnella Frazier. That's who really got George Floyd justice. Because she the one who recorded that whole thing. And some people was like, oh, she should have did more. I'm like, how? She's 17. What else can she do? She probably traumatized as it is from experiencing it. But I'm like, if she would have did anything else, she'd have been right there with him. She did the best she could do.
She did.
You
I
can't.
think she did excellent with what she was given, because they tried to spin it as like nobody really wanted to help the police officers and do all that, the people that was around them, because they feared for their life too, as far as like people probably getting shot and all of that. So she did what she had to do. She was the light.
She was
for the darkness moment, because that would have went down the way it is, and he would have definitely walked had it been no video. So I'm glad that they got his ass, for real. I agree with you. I'm glad that he was convicted, but until there is systemic changes, it will continue to happen. Oh yeah, we know that this is only the beginning. I know that we got a long way to go. I'm glad they started some fucking way though.
This is how I feel about it though. It's like, where are we going? We really not going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like this that happened right here was just undeniable. Like it was really undeniable. But really, if you really put everything into context, a lot of people gonna be really upset with me for saying this, but it's like we haven't done nothing but changed the way that slavery happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it really ain't. A lot of people like it's better than it was before. No, it's not. It's just that they didn't have social media and camera phones and all this technology to where people could. What you looking for?
A remote for this. It's like making.
Oh, I think it's over by the bed. They didn't have all of this stuff that could have you be recorded and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like it need to be more than systematic change. They need to rewrite the whole Constitution to extend the constitutional rights to Black people. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. Read. There's one comment.
That is true. Cops still have gotten off. The difference with this one is the way he did it. It was real cruel. He didn't just shoot him. He didn't just, you know what I'm saying? It was no way. Basically, the white people just had to sacrifice him because it wasn't no way. Yeah. Like the defense was trying to pull their defense out of pure fucking air.
Yeah.
They was in there probably like, listen, bro, you going to jail. We just don't know how long.
Yeah. So get your ass ready.
I'm sorry about this light behind us, y'all.
I can't find the damn.
You can't find the remote. Look it's on the bed.
No, I just had it. I just turned it on.
I'm just over it. I told Trey the other day, I said, to be honest, like I want to move somewhere where it's like not like I want to move somewhere where political climate is not a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not explaining it. It's like I'm tired of like Democrat, Republican. I'm tired of like you a Democrat, I'm a Republican. You a Christian, I'm not a Christian. I'm over that. I don't want to deal with that shit no more. I just want to live life. And America is too opinionated.
Yeah.
I know it sounds bad like what I'm saying. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's fucking exhausting dealing with this shit all the time.
Yeah, it really is.
It's not even about just race no more. It's so many other factors that's just, I can't do it no more.
The fact that they brought up monoxide poisoning from the exhaust, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Y'all reaching on that one. Yeah, they got to come up with some type of bullshit. So when I seen that, I was just like, carbon monoxide. First of all, he out fucking side. He ain't in a enclosed
it's ventilated,
space.
Yeah.
For you to be fucking getting carbon monoxide to die from that, it got to be not a well ventilated area. We outside on the floor. It didn't even matter that he was by the exhaust. First of all, it's not even enough exhaust right there for him to either. He probably had some traces, but in his body, but it's not enough for that. You know what I'm saying? For him to catch all of that. So I'm like, damn, your defense sucks, nigga. Like,
but it's like, what else was you gonna say though?
I mean, that's the best y'all could come up with was that bullshit. And I couldn't believe it's like, for real, I'm gonna just say this. Defense lawyers have the hardest fucking job in America. And they look stupid and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's dumb that they get up there and actually go like, do they actually sit and be like, listen, this is the only type of bullshit we got right now. So let's just go with carbon monoxide poisoning because obviously that's the only fucking thing that they really have. But
if he was a good lawyer, he would have told him, "Listen, fam, you're not gonna make it out of this one. Take the plea."
Pretty much.
And they should have offered him life without parole.
And that's why he didn't testify. He pleaded the fifth. A lot of people don't know. Pleading the fifth to me is that you're guilty. You just don't want to openly admit you guilty. They saying it's because you don't want to incriminate yourself, but bitch, you're guilty. So anytime somebody say I plead the fifth, when he did that shit, I was like, yo ass going to jail. Like, I don't even know what they got that for. Well, maybe they don't want them on record just saying that, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, pleading the fifth is like, you right almost. Because my thing is, if you got a certain truth, anybody would be, taking the opportunity to be running their fucking mouth about that. So pleading the fifth to me is just like, you have incriminated yourself, stupid. Like,
this is the thing for me. Let's just skip the whole process. Let's skip the whole process of the fact that we not going to sit up here and actually entertain that a medical doctor that has so many different experiences and so much expertise in science I wouldn't even say that shit. Fuck the case. You're not gonna make me look stupid like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing after I done went to school for 12 or 13 years. That's number one. But let's say we get past all of that and then we somehow believe in our mind that bullshit that carbon monoxide had killed him. Bitch, how did he get on the floor? Please explain to me how he got pinned in one position to be able to breathe in carbon monoxide for such a long period of time. That would still be your ass, Derek Chauvin.
So
why did you even try that?
From that,
I can't believe he graduated from law school.
I couldn't either. That's why I was saying, like Shalia said, it sounded like some pre-law college student shit. I'm like, that shit sound like some shit on how to get away with murder.
Just some
even
outlandish
they should be even
shit.
more solid though. But it seemed like some fucking movie. It's like they said that shit and we was like, what the fuck is this? Is this like fucking, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And I don't know whatever show, but it's like, is this a goddamn show? I'm like, the best y'all could do to come up with is carbon monoxide. When they came up with that, fuck the pleading the fifth. When he said that shit, that's when I knew his ass was going to jail, because that let me know right there that they was sitting in the fucking deliberation and when they was talking between each other, Derek Chauvin and whoever represented him, that's when I knew that they didn't have shit, because that's what a motherfucker do when they don't got shit. They come out and it be some outlandish shit, and then that motherfucker just stick with that because they like, well, shit, it ain't really else to do. And you're right, they wasn't gonna offer him no plea deal because
I would have, if I was the prosecutor, I would have offered him life without parole, because I know niggas in the hood and he wasn't never gonna make it that long anyways. I would have offered him life without parole, and I would have made sure that it was in his plea that he had to be in general population.
Yeah, Shalia said, y'all not gonna like this or agree, but he should have pleaded guilty, expressed shame, sorrow, condolences, and admitted he is racist and prejudiced. Just beg for mercy.
Why wouldn't I like that? I thought it was fucking absurd that they had a trial after we had. I mean, I know it's a constitutional right, but it's like we sitting here looking at him getting murdered. I don't know what the trial is for.
The defense doesn't have to prove his innocence. All they have to do is create reasonable doubt. That's why they were throwing random shit out. But yeah, Yanni, but it wasn't no damn reasonable doubt, because wasn't nobody gonna believe that.
Yeah, I know they don't have bullshit. It wasn't reasonable doubt.
It wasn't nothing for him to prove. So I get what you're saying, but I was just like, I knew then that when they came out with that shit, that they didn't have nothing, like at all. They didn't have not a drop, not nothing solid for them to really stand on, except for the carbon monoxide. Then they said that he didn't die from the actual him kneeling on his neck, that he had underlying problems and drugs.
You know what I hate?
All of this extra shit.
Then they tried to go get the other dude out of jail that was in the car with him and make him say that he ingested drugs. And the dude was like, no. Like, I'm already in this hole. I'm not doing that. I hate when they try to turn us against each other.
Yeah, so I was glad.
Because he's not sorry. What is he sorry for? He a racist piece of shit.
Yeah,
that's him.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't really agree in the fact that I wanted him to show remorse, because I don't, because you a fake ass motherfucker. We know you racist. So why the fuck would you come out and be remorseful and do all of this shit when you didn't show your true colors? You know, take people for who the fuck they are. They show you who the fuck they are, to accept that shit. I don't want no motherfucking apology. I want your ass to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the apology.
I don't even want to say what I want.
I want him to go to jail and get his asshole pumped on every fucking night.
Baby, be careful. They go block our shit.
About that.
This the thing though for me that a lot of people's like. I mean, I'm happy that he was guilty of everything, but what for me, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. As a mother, I know as a mother of daughters, and George Floyd had a daughter. I know that ain't nothing gonna replace the fact that that little girl is not about to have her father around. Like I was saying that shit to Trey in the car. I'm like, they got $27 million. It's like, okay. And he went to jail, but it's like, that shit ain't gonna mean nothing when what is she, like 5 or 6 years? That have been, so she might be 6 or 7. That ain't gonna matter when a daddy-daughter dance come up and her daddy not there. That's not gonna matter when she get her first heartbreak and her daddy ain't there. It's not gonna happen when she get married and he can't walk her down the aisle. None of that shit's gonna matter. Like having a father in your life is priceless. And that's the shit that irritates me because our kids have to grow up without fathers and they get put in different situations that end you know, us up in bad situations. You know what I'm saying? Like they get put in situations where their mother have to provide for them by themselves. So then that means that not only did they lose a parent or a father, but now they emotionally neglected by the other parent because they out here doing the best they can to financially provide for them. Then you got situations where a mother can't give love like a father can, and a father can't give love like a mother can. That's why people get so mad at me when I be like, I don't care what happens, a child needs a mother and a father figure. And as much as I respect, and as much as I am an advocate for the LGBTQIA community or plus community, I even told my sister is gay, and she talked about having a child for a very small period of time. And I said, you know, the bottom line is a child needs a mother figure and a father figure. I was raised by a gay couple, but my dad was still around. But at the end of the day, the things that I got from my dad, I couldn't get from, you know, my two mothers. So that's the thing for me. It's like, there ain't nothing you could do. You know, I'm definitely happy that justice has been served. But as a mother, I know what that little girl gonna have to go through not having her father around. And that's you can't replace that. Period. You can't replace that. And it's so many of us dealing with that because of stupid shit like this. Like we already got other shit. You know, we already got the whole mass incarceration thing. Then we got the communities and the environments that we grow up in that end up, you know, sometimes making our fathers not emotionally equipped to be there for us, and even sometimes our mothers. Then we also got all the different things that been dropped into our communities over time. It's just bullshit. I'm to the point where I'm just like, okay, you convicted this one person. I'm glad about it. But what about the 600 million motherfuckers before him? Why we still ain't got justice for Breonna Taylor, who was sleeping in her fucking bed? Like, I don't get that. I don't care if you had a warrant, but you went into the wrong house. Guess what, motherfucker? That's what you're trained to do. When I go to work and I make a fucking mistake, a clerical mistake, or if I put the wrong sign on a fucking t-shirt, guess what? I gotta honor that for the customer. Your ass gotta do that too. And if you can't pay attention to detail, then you need a different fucking career. And that's like everybody be saying, oh, will these police officers be scared? Well, pick another career because you knew it was dangerous when your ass signed up with your scary ass. Then don't do it. The problem is y'all keep letting all these motherfucking previous KKK members into all these prestige-ass positions so they can kill the right way. That's the real point if y'all want to get to it. So it's like, fuck all of that. She still got to grow up the rest of her life without a fucking father. And that shit is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just lost your dad, but how old are you? You know, I mean, I lost my mama at 26. And me and my mama wasn't even that close. And it was a fucking struggle for me.
I know. And
I struggled.
Her father died at 20, and she still miss him every day.
Exactly. My mama died 4 years ago on the 14th, 5 years ago on the 15th. I mean, on the 14th of April, made 5 years. And
it ain't changed.
Some days it's like the same day. It feel like the same day she died.
Yeah, some days it don't change. I don't wish that on no one. Yeah, I mean, death is hard to come by, man. So that's why I was like, I don't really give a fuck about none of that other shit. I don't care about no apology.
Yeah.
I don't care about
It's nothing you can
showing
say.
remorse. I don't
At
give a
all.
fuck about none of that. And I'm with you, like you said, Shalia. Capital punishment, a life for a life, motherfucker.
That's how I feel.
My system.
I'm sorry.
That's how I feel. So I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. Take your ass to jail because you know your ass was wrong. And I don't care about showing no remorse because you didn't show her. If you did, at the beginning, you wouldn't have got into this situation where you would have been at. You wouldn't have killed this man on live fucking TV. That girl ain't gonna hurt. His daughter ain't gonna ever escape that shit.
That's another thing. She never gonna have a regular life. She's always gonna be George Floyd's daughter.
Exactly.
She can always pull up that video and watch her father be murdered.
Over and over and over again.
And that's the thing, Shalia.
I'm cool.
It's like, think about this. I think you 23. When my mama died, I was 26, right? Pretty much we in adulthood. And we still, there were still things that I had to go through. Like, for example, when I had Eden, my mother had already passed away. She passed away when Sunday was 8 months. So, when I had Eden, it was a struggle for me because it's like, damn, I just had a baby that my mama never gonna be able to meet. Spirit will meet, whatever. But you got to think about the fact that she's so young. She got so much things that could constantly bring up grief for her. Her first day of school forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like her first day of school for the rest of her life could be something that caused her to grieve. What about her first child? They're not going to have him as a grandfather. It's going to be a bunch of different moments as her life continues to go on that is going to constantly restart her grieving process in that moment. That's what's so sad about this situation. And then it's like when she want to be a regular person, she basically have to change her name. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I just can't. Like when this whole situation happened, I really had to just pull away from social media and take a moment because I'm real empathic and I was struggling. I really was struggling because, I have a father that has had a lot of issues with the police, that's been in jail. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, when other races, I'm getting emotional just thinking about this because I feel like when other races do things, it's like they serve their time and it is over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like then they just get this, of course you still a felon, you still whatever, but it's like people give you that benefit of doubt. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a black man,
you don't get that benefit of the doubt.
You never get the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Nobody ever believes that you can change.
Take your time, mama.
So for me, with George Floyd, it was a struggle because I got a little cousin that right now is struggling with the police, having all of these legal issues and stuff. So for me, it's like
the shit hit home.
Yeah, like that could be my daddy. Yeah, that could be my cousin. Nobody don't care that I grew up playing kickball with him across the street in the hood, and he wasn't always like that.
Right.
They don't care
they
that.
Don't get to know the real
shit. They don't care that he grew up in Greenspoint and
person.
didn't have all these fucking opportunities that everybody else had. They don't care. Like they don't care what he went through, and how he even ended up like that. It's like nobody ever takes into account what our communities are like that end us up in these situations. It's easy to be good when you living in fucking suburbia with two parents. Right. That's so easy.
Yeah, they don't never take into account our situations, our experiences.
Yeah.
They just young black nigga and that he just
that's it.
He just gotta be out here fucking around and doing all this crazy shit and doing all that. And they don't understand that we done came from one parent households that we've been struggling all our fucking life.
They don't care. They don't care about the cycle of the system.
You know what I'm saying? They don't
that
understand.
They fucking created.
Right. They don't understand our fathers either dead or been in jail for, you know what I'm saying, all our fucking life. They don't understand that, we in the hood, the fucking ghetto. And you know what I'm saying? They don't really understand that shit. I think that's probably the most irritating because
it's so irritating.
It don't matter what you do or change your circumstances to how you be. Even I'd have been stopped and had problems early on with the police with tickets and shit and doing all of that to where I'd have been scared to where a motherfucker might, no matter how proper I talk, a motherfucker gonna be like, nah, you a nigga. Like, we understand where you from.
So
like,
fucking exhausting.
So yeah, it gets to, hit home. I think for me, it's the same thing because it's like, same thing for her. I got a bunch of people that's around me or that I know, and hell, even myself. I mean, I'm a black man. I mean, that shit could be me one day. You know what I'm saying? Or that shit could happen to me any fucking time. So, you know, anytime I'm out or seeing some shit like that, like for me, it's just a reality check because I'm like, it don't matter what we do, we not safe. No matter how much money we got, no matter what social, you know, economic class we in, what's our status, anything, they don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They really don't. And I've seen races get treated, I mean, totally different. I had a run in with the law where, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker definitely racially profiled me because they felt like, you know what I'm saying, they let the other person go, stop me and all of this shit because they felt like I was the one that was the aggressor. And it's like, it didn't matter. You should have stopped both parties. You should have stopped, you know what I'm saying?
It's like well, as soon as we are seeing it's a threat, like as soon as we are seeing it is a threat. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole problem with it. Like, I just can't, like, for real, I'm so over just, I just, honestly, if I'm just being real honest, I just feel like it's going nowhere fast. And I keep telling Trey, like, I'm just ready to leave America because I just don't feel like it's for us.
I mean,
like,
I don't want our kids to grow up in this shit.
It's not. Like, you can't. I feel like, you know, in all, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, you know, like when I remember when I used to grow up, I was predominantly raised by my grandmothers. Like my grandmothers they did most of the raising, you know, in my life and taught me how to be who I am today. But my grandmothers would be like, now I realize it was anxiety, but then I felt like they was being so like, overprotective, right?
Overprotective, yeah.
You know, every little thing that you did, you know, they really was in fear for you. But now, like that, I'm a mother and I have children, you know, like, and I have a husband, and I, you know, now that I'm a grown Black woman, it's like I understand how they feel because they know, or how they felt because they know if we get in a specific situation, we're not gonna be given the benefit of the doubt like Sally ass down the street. You know, like for example, the other day, me and Trey we was doing something, I don't remember. But anyways, we had to go into this neighborhood, was following GPS. And I'm not emotionally ready for this conversation. I thought I was, but I'm not, y'all. You making me cry. I'm sorry. Talk to you later. I'm sorry. So, anyways, we go into this neighborhood or whatever, and we ended up making the wrong turn. And we ended up in a cul-de-sac because here they got this weird shit where it's like two streets be named the same thing, but one might be like lane, one might be like court, one might be like way. But you can literally go down the street in a neighborhood, all the streets be the exact same
like name
thing. Yeah. But they be different, like court, way, like I was saying. So we turn, and these two little white boys, they might have been like 5 or 6, maybe 5 or 6, no more than 7 or 8. And they running down the street, right? And they run towards the car. We stopped because he was trying to pull out and turn back around. And they literally had no fear, y'all. Like they ran around our car, ran towards the back, and we just sat there because we didn't, want to hit them. But just as simple as that, if you Black, then you know, as a Black kid, you was always taught, don't go behind the car, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like Black people have to start grooming their kids from birth, basically, you know what I'm saying, to act and to move a certain way because they know we're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like with the over-sexualization of little Black girls, the same thing, I feel like we ignored the ideal of the over-masculization of little Black boys. Little Black boys are not men. Like, at the end of the day, they still children, and we do the same thing to them that we do, or society does the same thing to them that they do to Black girls because we fill out and we, are looking more mature sometimes earlier in life. So now, the anxiety that they had, I get it because, like, if Trey go to the store by himself, I'm anxious till he get back. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what could happen.
Yeah, she texts me when I leave. Like, I could be just getting in the car. She texts me when I get there. We have this system. Like, when we go places by ourselves and we're going to be out, especially even after night, like, text me when you get there. Text me when you're on your way home. Like, keep me updated. And I can understand why, because it's just a bunch of It's too much. It's just too much. At this point, it's just like it's mentally taxing. Like it's mentally and emotionally draining at this point. Being black in America. Like being black in America for real, that's an everyday struggle. It's draining because you don't know when tensions is gonna rise. When would you be in that situation, or when will somebody you know be in that situation, or when the next murder is gonna fucking happen. Like you are walking on eggshells with that, and it's like every fucking day you got to make sure that you go out with that armor on because it's like that every single day. It really
I feel like you really can't have true peace.
You cannot have true. I definitely not. Black people are not accepted in this country. I really feel like for real, we are not meant to be here, which we wasn't because, of course, we all got brought here under somebody else's will. We didn't want to come to this motherfucker. They came and picked us up
from whatever place,
places they came and grabbed our ass from. But we not. This ain't. America is not set up for the black person.
It's not.
Or the minority, but definitely not the black person or the ethnic. For real, it's just not there. It's not for us. It ain't, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But we need to figure out. At
this point, Pharaoh, it's not even about just black sons. They're killing us all. It used to be a time when it used to just be black men. But now it looks like Shalia came back. You back, Shalia? Let us know if you back. But now it's like anybody. I can't do it no more for real. Me and Trey watched this YouTube channel about the huge migration of black people moving to Asia. And it was this dude on there. Was he in Japan?
I forgot where it was. He was Malaysia.
He was somewhere in Asia.
In Asia, for sure.
And he was talking about how he feels in Asia versus how he felt in America. And he was damn near crying, talking about how when he lived in America, that basically like he felt like he had to go outside and have this armor on because of how, number one, he was taught, and number two, how, he felt like the world saw him, in America. And he's like, I don't really have to do that no more. I don't feel like I'm always looking over my shoulder, so on and so forth. And all I could think, and I told Trey, was like, I want to feel like that. Like, I don't want to be on edge every time you go to the store or I go to the store, or be scared to do basic stuff. Like our oldest daughter about to turn 12. In Colorado, you could drive at 15, and I'm literally scared of her driving by herself. Not because I feel like she's not responsible and she gonna do something wrong, but because I feel like somebody could find something wrong just to pull her over and do something to her. Like, and it's not fair to my child that me protecting her is hindering her from growing up and living her life free. I don't know that I could do that I don't know I could do that for the rest of my life, or even raise my kids in that environment like that. That's really my struggle right now. I'm afraid that I won't be able to be the proper parent.
Because we're going to be so much on eggshells, and our anxiety is already through the roof. But at that point, it's going to be even more so because I can't even think about I just can't. What did Gwen say?
That probably is, Gwen, but let's be realistic. How could you not be in fear? Because our ancestors was killed in fear and not in fear.
And I'm pretty sure that is what they want. But the thing is, that's not what is right or what people want. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to do all this shit for the rest of my life. I don't want to
play the mind game. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to do the back and forth. I don't want to do the hashtag this, justice this, protest this. I just want y'all to get that shit right. I want somebody to actually sit down, some people to sit down, actually come together and create an actual change, because at this point, it's just a bunch of fucking circus running around doing extra shit. And I'm like, I can't. I mean, I'm only 29. You know what I'm saying? Or am I 28? I'll be 29 this year.
No, baby.
Because you'll be 31 this year.
Yeah.
So I'm only 28, 31. It's like I got the rest of my life. Everybody is, and then there's people younger than us as black people. Like my kids got a whole life ahead of them, and I don't want them to go through none of this shit. You know, I'm tired. I don't want to get up and continue to do this for the rest of my damn life and not see change happen. I just want people to come together and actually do that. You know what I'm saying? We keep talking about it, and I'm like, you know, I'm so glad with what happened today, but let's be honest, it's a drop in the bucket. Like
it is.
We got a long way to go because I'm like, if that's the case for this, it's like we need to reach back. We still got Breonna Taylor. I mean, I can go on and on. Hell, Emmett Till, she said, we got, you know what I'm saying? We got so
and
many
the lady
more.
that just came out and said
she
lied
was
on
lying
Emmett Till
before she
a couple
died
of years ago.
with her old ass, lying ass. But I'm just like, you know, if y'all want actual change, then that's what I'm saying we do, because it's just too much. It's a lot. You know,
I'm to the point where it's not. I'm really just to the point where it's like I was telling him going in before you got here, and I was saying that I want to go somewhere where it's not like everything is not about politics, and you know it's all exhausting. Like on top of the whole race issue that we got going on in America, you know, it's just so many layers of hate. You got the race issue, then you got the sexuality issue, then you got all of the LGBTQ plus stuff going on, you know, then you got politics. It is just so exhausting that it's like you just become consumed by it. Even if you try to keep your mind clear and you try to, you know what I'm saying, it's really just exhausting. I don't want to do that no more. I just don't. Like these so-called freedoms that we have in America that honestly I don't feel like is even extended to us as black people. It's just exhausting, baby. David on here fronting on you. He didn't call you school again. Hey, David. I would love for it to happen, but I doubt they will. You can't change hateful people's heart. Right. Yeah, he talking about sub-schooling, Coco.
Oh, what's up, David? I see you with the jokes already. Nah, what's going on, man? How you doing?
That's the thing. It is, and then if I'm just being honest, like Gwen, I'm getting to the point where I'm becoming like in some areas hateful, and I'm not that type of person. Like
yeah,
I'm pretty frank, but
I'm definitely becoming that. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie
like
to y'all. If we just being open and honest right now,
don't say no racist.
No, I'm not. No. I mean, anyways, yeah, I'm not, but I'm definitely That's how I'm feeling. So
it's too much. It really is. Shalia was not playing. She got off the show.
Yeah. It's a lot, y'all. It really is.
Like Gunny said, America they really need to address the trauma of generational poverty that they created.
I think just
and
generational trauma. Yeah. It's, of everything. Like, I think it's a lot.
I'm just over it. I really am.
I think it's just too much. I'm glad that, justice was served today, but we got a long way to go.
My thing is,
it's more cases out there that's exactly like this, and the people that came before this, they definitely need their due process too.
Another thing in America is like it's constantly shifting because as we move from like Democrats being in office to Republicans being in office, it's constantly like this seesaw of shit happening because it could be good when you got Democrats, but then or whatever party, depending on what's good for you.
Right.
But then it's like then the other party takes over and it's the shift. So it's so inconsistent because that party gets in and do what they want. Yeah.
It's like they make progress and then when they change, they backtrack because they feel like, we got to come back to recorrect the progress that the Democrats made. And then when the Democrats when the Republicans leave office and the Democrats, they do the same thing. They go backwards, erase all of that and then be like, I'm gonna set. So it's never no real progress because I set something, you erase it, then you set something, then I erase it. You know what I mean? So it's never no forward progress because everybody keeps saying, no, this is right. No, this is right. No, this is right. No, this is right. Instead of just coming together and figuring out the whole thing all together. Like I said earlier, actually sitting their ass down and taking the time to figure out the actual issue and problem of it rather than just, oh, I'm right. So when I got my time, whatever the case, and then everybody plotting, and then they change the office over. Now y'all on the outside and look at us, and it's like, y'all, we never get nowhere, and that shit has been happening since president number one, since we had a goddamn president. They didn't always done since the Democratic and Republican parties then started. It's always been that. It's always been fuck the Democrats or fuck the Republicans or whatever the side is, and everybody just beefing, and it's like, y'all really just doing this shit because it's a show, and then everybody in between is collateral damn damage. And it's like, what's the point? So, you know, like she said earlier, like Coach said earlier, you know, we was just talking before, even just earlier today, and we over the politics. I don't want to go nowhere where this is that important, that involved in every walk of life. You can't watch a TV show. There's everything to where it's like politics play a part in every single thing. And it's exhausting because nobody ever gets in and does what they're supposed to do. It's always the moment shit. And that's why it never lasts, because however we feeling in the moment, let's go ahead and put somebody in there for that moment. Let them do what they want to do. Then when we get tired of that shit, or he didn't reach his maximum and served the 8 years, then we got to deal with another motherfucker who, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't get it. I don't want to do the politics that's that heavily involved and that heavily influenced on every single aspect of life.
You know what else I don't want to do? Some of y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this. I don't want to do religion no more. I'm not a religious person. I don't subscribe to any religion. But people really use religion to do some bullshit. Like, they really do.
I mean, just like anything else.
That's a huge part of America. And I don't think that people who are very religious realize how much America has used religion / Christianity to do some of the most fucked up shit that has ever occurred in the history of man. And so that's another thing. It's like, why can't people just exist without having to be a part of something that makes them quote unquote right? Like that's probably the biggest thing. Like, America has this mindset. That's why a lot of countries don't like fucking with us, because Americans have this mindset that somebody has to be right. There has to be a right. And then whoever it is thinks that right is them.
Yeah.
So what do you mean, like what, Gwen?
I think she's saying, like, what do they do to do fucked up stuff? Religion.
What has religion done? Are you saying what have Americans used religion to do? Is that what you're saying? Yanni didn't just disappear. Did you leave, Yanni?
There's 7 people in here.
Yes. What are they using religion to do? Okay. How are they? Since the beginning of time, America has done all the evil things that they've ever done in the name of God. For example, the man who wrote the song "Amazing Grace" also is the person that created the tool that the gynecology tool that he used on black slaves and to put into the heads of black babies that, of course, had no survival mortality rate, and wrote the song because basically he felt guilty and basically believed that even though I did all of this horrible shit, God is still gonna save me. The great, what is it called? The great, what do you call it? The great, where they was taking everybody land. The great something. Yanni, if you on here, help me. I know you know what it's called. The great. Is it the great expansion? No, the great manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny.
Oh yeah.
Manifest destiny, where they basically was just stealing people land. If we want to get down to the physical, was supposed to be the will of God.
Yeah.
That was done in the name of God.
I don't have a problem with religion. My problem is that often religious people forget that only people that has to abide by religion is the people that follow it. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. There's evil everywhere. Religion has been a problem since man decided to use it for selfish reasons. Plenty of wars have been started in the name of religion.
Yep. Several wars have been started in the name of religion.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
how you doing, Ann?
Several things have been started in the
religion
name of
has
religion.
done some. Religion has been in the forefront of some bullshit.
It has. I could go on and on. I mean, we can take
the Catholic Church. I mean, how long was they doing inappropriate stuff to those little boys, using that as like, you know what I mean, getting close to those boys, raping those little boys in the Catholic Church, like, just little, stuff like that. I mean,
just specifically on the line of America using it. I mean, you could talk about how America, I mean, when they got this land, when they came here and stole this from the indigenous people, there's several things that they said this is the will of God. Part of the reason why they went so hard on the indigenous people was because they would not subscribe to Christianity.
Right.
And they still haven't subscribed to Christianity.
No, that's why they still doing their own.
So that's one thing. I mean, I'm going to just keep it real with you. I'm a believer in God. Yeah, I'm a believer in the Most High God. I'm not a believer in any organized religion. To each their own. If you do believe in organized religion, I don't have anything against it. But I do think that religion, well, I can't say I think, I do know that religion specifically pertaining to Black people has been used for a long period of time to keep us in a slave mentality mindset. It's not for me.
Yeah, most religions are misrepresented. Yeah.
Enslave a whole people and tell them the Bible says obey your master, period.
Exactly.
We Black people from any place, okay? When I say Black people, I'm speaking of our ancestors that were enslaved, okay? From whatever country you came from, because not every Black person is from Africa, but from whatever country that your lineage came from, not one of those countries was practicing Christianity before we got our ass on a boat or was forced onto a boat.
Exactly.
So when it got down to the get down, and America was the only country left still having slaves, and other countries was not trying to fuck with us because they was basically like, y'all, it's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because other countries own slaves as well.
Yeah, sure did.
Let's just be honest. Now we got to let these motherfuckers loose, but we outnumber, and we got to figure out, because we've been breeding them like they cattle and dogs all this time. So now we got to figure out how we going to make sure they don't kill us.
And in comes religion. Okay,
and anybody has been taught religion from a very young age can tell you that if you ain't have a person in your life with a right mind, you were shown a white Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus ain't white according to scripture. If you know your scripture, Jesus ain't white. So you could call him Caucasian if you want to, but don't call him white because he ain't white. Caucasian, like he mixed with everything.
Oh.
So I'm saying like it's been like, it is kind of like an actual thing.
No, I thought it was like an actual. I know what you're saying. I didn't know that. I thought it was an actual name. That was the name for it.
Right.
So I was just like, oh snap.
So I believe in God. I do believe in God. Trey is a Christian. I wouldn't consider myself to be a Christian. I consider myself to have a personal relationship with God. We haven't got on one accord yet as to how we're going to, what we're going to teach our children, really. We kind of letting them
on the fence. I'm going to say I'm on the fence right now. I wouldn't be a devout Christian because I don't go to church. And I don't really care.
But you pray though.
I pray, but
I pray too.
But that's more of me building an actual just personal relationship. That's where I'm at now. I used to be. I don't think I am some more either. I'm not a believer in organized religion no more as I am. I'm more of, so I don't even know if I would even say I was a Christian because I don't have no desire to really go to church or to actually do the organized religion. I believe in God like she does. And I pray, but more focused on, but it's a spiritual connection and it's more of a personal spiritual connection than an actual like Christian. Like I got to go to church and I have to be like, I used to be like that a lot. I will say that. But within these last few years, especially since we moved here, I think that's I have definitely separated myself for sure from that. So yeah, I will say, yeah, I'm more focused on the spiritual aspect of it, spirituality aspect of it.
I think I teach right now. We teach our children there is a Most High God. There is a, there is a God. You know what I'm saying? But there's several issues that I have with how we perceive religion right now. Like, for example, for Black people, religion has taught us to hate ourselves for so long because we always been taught that the most highest being in existence is white. Secondly, it's taught us for so long to look outside of ourselves for so many different things. It's like, listen, you have to look within self for happiness. You have to look within self for so many different things. And the whole ideal of selflessness, teaching us to be selfish to ourselves, getting us out of balance, that type of thing. I think religion not only supports white supremacy, but it also supports what do you call it? It also supports what do you call it? Whatever the opposite of feminism is, because or misogyny is what I'm looking for. Because let's be honest, we had this whole ideal that God is a man, the most highest being is a man. First of all, we don't know what he is, but let's be honest. If you could birth the whole nation, then you're probably a woman, because we the only people who can give birth. So it's just so many different underlying things besides what they've used it for up until this point that I disagree with.
So David said, that's crazy. Exactly
Let's start up there.
Right here.
Oh, spirituality. Oh, where you at?
Right here. That's what you said first. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Obey your masters is not talking about Black slave masters. In the days that slaves was done. Was done because you owed money to another, not what white people said.
Right.
Shalia says spirituality over religion. For sure. To be honest, I've seen both in my personal life. People who care about following the Bible and people who don't, and people who don't. It seems to me they are missing peace. They are unhappier.
That's not true.
You were only allowed to be a slave for 6 years. Y'all can do like my parents. We didn't subscribe to one religion, but they taught us the basis of each religion and allowed us the choice if we wanted to choose. Gwen said that's
what did you choose, Yanni?
Gwen said that's just been her experience. David said then they released on the 7th year. That's where we get the rule for credit.
Yeah,
Shalia, right. Definitely. Gwen, I've lived both an extremely selfish life when I lived my previous life before being born again, and I'm way happier living a selfless life. Shalia, absolutely.
Gwen, I'm gonna be real honest with you, and this is not me. Again, like I said, I'm not against religion. If it's for you, it's not for me. But I'm gonna be real honest with you. When you start to have children and you become married for a longer period of time, and you continue, life continues to progress for you, I think we should have this conversation again, because there's a huge difference between selflessness and self-sacrifice, and that is what religion does not teach us. So, and that is what religion does not teach us. Yeah. There is extreme danger in neglecting self for other human beings.
Definitely.
If you don't believe me, talk to me in about 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. I'm not saying that you can't be selfless in that life, but there is a lot of.
And then I'm sorry, baby. And then what's following the Bible? Because if we just being 100% honest, there's a lot of contradictions in the Bible. Gwen, I don't neglect myself. Not yet, because you don't have enough people around you to do so. And also the way I grew up in religion, the way that most people that I've known do religion, I think as you continue to go on, because I felt the same way at the beginning, when I first started. But I think as you continue to go on and you have more what we call like earthly responsibilities from God, you'll start to understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, because your life could be different for several different variables, but it kind of seems like you like a new to maybe kind of a newer to more to younger Christian. But I think people who didn't been in Christianity for a very long time would probably agree with me, even if they still are religious. Yeah, everyone is on his or her own path. And some people need religion. Some people really do. And I've said that to Trey. Oh, she said I am. Exactly. When you a younger Christian, like you newer to Christianity, it's different. It continues to go on and you start to really see different things. You might change your mind, you might not. If you don't, that's fine. This is for me. It's not for me. I still have friends who are Christians, but it's not for me. I think that the Most High God has given us everything that we need, within ourselves. And yes, we use him as in a direct relationship. I mean, we use them. I call them in a direct relationship, but religion is not the healer to all. That's how I feel about that.
No, David, thanks for the history lesson. He said that they were wearing gold earrings because after our 7 years, if you decide you enjoy being a slave, then you would get your ears pierced with the gold ring, signifying you want to begin employment. Sorry for the history lesson. I knew that, but thank you. The Bible, specifically the Old Testament, is filled with hypocrisy and misogyny. Yeah, no, 100%. For real. I mean, there's a lot of contradictions to it. And that's why I feel like, too, with religion, it's really hard to attach to a lot of different things, because some people twist it. Some people use it for things that's not, they apply it to things that they know is not, but they know people are going to listen. So they'll bend it and twist it and I'm looking for another word, but they'll, make it. But
I know what word you're looking for.
They'll manipulate. Yeah, they'll manipulate it to fit. And so many different situations, and things like that. So it's hard to really kind of get it, down, because everybody can interpret a single scripture. We can take one scripture right now between all of us and we could all come up with something different. Yeah. So that's why I think it's hard to translate to people, because we don't always receive things the same as others. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the maybe harder parts of it, because when you've been in Christianity for so long, you start to wake up, you start to kind of like start to pay attention, especially when you're on the spiritual journey, or especially when starting to, have that like why and how, and when, start asking questions and you realize nobody can give you a straight up answer. You start to notice little things, and then you start to understand more and more about that. And I think that's where I'm at now. Is like I'm just in this place of I'm like, why, and I'm questioning, and not because I just want to be defined, but I really want to understand it. So I think that when it gets to that, it starts to become tricky, because now I'm to the place where you can't really just tell me anything now. So you can, and I will receive that. But then how I process it and whatever logic I use to come to the end solution, it can't be, contorted. You can't manipulate that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not just going, because you said, oh, this is what the Bible says. I get that, but this is what I'm taking from it. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So it really depends on how you interpret it and how you do it, so.
This is what I'll say, Gwen, because you said you feel like people are missing peace. I'm going to be honest and say that I'm at the most peace that I ever been in, not being a Christian in my life. But I believe that peace comes from within, and you get that peace from having a true relationship with God, right? There's a difference. And I'm going to keep it 100% real. I feel this. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm saying these are my feelings. I feel that that Christianity, the religion, is a crutch for people who cannot keep themselves in line because they haven't done the soul searching that they need to do.
Yeah.
And it is a substitute for a true relationship with God. Because if you really want to subscribe to the Bible, God ain't never been about religion. We saw that in the Old Testament when Saul was dying for religion to be a thing before he became Paul and was slandering Christians, that God was never about religion. So the bottom line is, I think that, a lot of Christianity is being unveiled because God ain't never intend for religion to be a thing. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that people have started to use, religion because they want to be able to check a box. They've used it for validation. Like, I'm better than you because I'm living this life, A, B, and C, and I'm going to be honest. There's only one church that I would go to ever. If I need to be in the church, then, you know what I'm saying? If I need to be on the altar, I'm not afraid of an altar. But that could be anywhere for me, There's only one church I would actually go back to. But let's be honest about it. If you're really about this Christian life, what's the point of going to church every week? Everybody in here already, quote unquote, saved, right? I don't even believe in the terminology saved. It's already paid for. God, quote unquote, already died for it. So if there's Jesus already, quote unquote, died for it, I say God. But if that's the thing, why do we got to keep on doing all of this? You know what I'm saying? It's a trap. It's a system to keep you acting and moving a certain way. So I think it's a crutch. I'm just gonna be honest. You need to sit down, search within yourself. Yanni, you need to do that shadow work and deal with that inner child and figure out why you can't get delivered from A, B, and C. Because somebody throwing their hand back on you ain't delivering you from nothing. You working through that shit with God, the Most High, is what's going to get you past something and dealing with the actual issues within. Yeah. So I see Christianity as a crutch.
So, yeah. So Shalia said, like how it says we're not supposed to eat pork or shellfish or have extramarital affairs, and Christians overlook all that but choose to condemn homosexuals. Why is that? David said religion is the man-made rules that God never intended.
Period.
And that's facts. That's facts.
That's the best way I ever heard it put.
That's facts. Same thing with Shalia. That's facts. Don't pick and choose what's what. Because to me, what I interpret it as is a sin is a goddamn sin. Period. Right? If we just gonna say that, we ain't weighing. Gay, homosexuality, whatever the hell that is not greater than having extramarital affairs. It's the same shit. I don't know why we out here trying to play those games. Religion, like you said, that's definitely man-made, because like I was telling you, people get into it with the notion of I'm going to do something different. That's why it's very hard to really just trust. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's the thing. I think for me, that is what has scalded me and pulled me back, because I have trusted so much in the past that when fucked up stuff happened, I can't, like in my head, I can't deal with the connection of how are you so high, but then can do something so low in that position? Like, how are you? So I think I have to draw back, because that gets me mentally fucked up to where I'm just like, I don't want to do any of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to turn my back on it. And I have definitely done that. So for me, it's more like I'm trying to find the balance of it, because that's just my thing. It's hard to really just trust with anything in that. And I think that's what people use religion as. I think they take that and they use it to get in the cracks and find the loopholes and exploit all the dark shit and to do all the bad shit, because they know ultimately y'all and not y'all on this live, but the people are bought into something. So they know I can control the masses with that shit. So Coco, we are going to have to get into this combo later. I can't type everything I need to say on this subject.
Okay, well, we're going to eat on Friday, and I promise I'm going to be way cuter than this, and we can talk about it.
Power and money drive people to be leaders in religion, and that's all that it is.
I'm just going to keep it real, too. Here's a big thing that I never liked about religion, because I grew up in the church, right?
So did I.
And I, have gifts that I grew to believe these gifts are, these are religious gifts. in my mind, I'm like, these ain't religious gifts. These is the gifts that the universe gave me. I refer to the universe and God interchangeably. Some people disagree with that, but I do refer to them interchangeably. Now, I'm gonna say this. I feel, and once I say this, we're gonna move to the subject of homosexuality, the way that the church treats homosexuality, with which Shalil was talking about, which is one of the huge reasons why I don't one huge reason why I don't like religion either. There's several reasons. Like we could probably write a book on the reasons, but that's one of the really big ones. I feel like this. If you don't believe me that religion is a crutch for a true relationship with God, then you could just look at all of these huge religious leaders who they be you be thinking that they just so kept and got all of this this great relationship with God, but then you find out they beating their wife, they molesting people, they doing drugs, they alcoholics, they all this stuff. And then people be saying, oh, well, then the church excuse for that is, oh, well, everybody is humans, they got the same struggles. It's like, okay, but that's because you telling me to look this way for healing instead of figuring out healing goes this way. I don't care how you put it. There's nothing out here for me to heal. The only way I'm gonna heal, like I wrote this on my Instagram page before, and I said that the church irritates the shit out of me, forcing religion on people. We need to normalize healing before forgiveness, because forgiveness is a byproduct of healing. But the Bible or the church will lead us to believe I gotta forgive you or God not gonna forgive me. Let me tell you something right now. Let's just get real down to earth with this. I got 4 kids right now. Okay, I'm going to get my nails in tomorrow. Y'all just pretend like this ain't here. I got 4 kids. Now, Christian and Goddess stay getting into it. Okay, Goddess, we found out she called Christian stupid before, right? Pissed us off. I mean, we was mad as hell at the end of the day. Christian forgave her because Christian got a forgiving heart. But let's just say this. Let's just say Christian decided that, because they're going back and forth doing different stuff to each other. So let's just say Christian decided that she wasn't going to forgive Goddess. And Goddess is mad at Christian because she messing with her stuff and she broke all her color pencils. You gonna try to tell me as their mother that I'm not gonna forgive Christian because Christian decided not to forgive Goddess and Goddess decided not to forgive Christian. So as their mother, I'm gonna hold forgiveness back from them because of what they got going on. That's what you're saying when you say God is not gonna forgive you unless you forgive your brother. That's number one. Number 2 is stop trying to make forgiveness a goddamn requirement, because it's not. Okay, really not. It's okay for you to not forgive a person. Okay,
you take your own time.
You take your own time forgiving a person, but you cannot not forgive a person because you still holding some malice against them. You could just say this person is not worthy of my forgiveness because if I forgive them, they will do it again. Choice. It's your choice. Okay. The second thing is, or the third thing is, just because you forgive a person don't mean you gotta fuck with them. These are things that religion teach us we gotta do. Okay. So back to what I was saying. If you don't heal within, you can't forgive nobody. You can't do nothing. That's coming from here. And then I can project it out onto other people, which is why we got the saying, hurt people, because if I'm hurt inside, I'm projecting onto other people. For those of you who don't know what projection is, it's basically when you take your mindset and put it onto other people and make it a reality, because words have power. But if you don't heal from within, then you can project that onto other people, which is why people who are hurt, they have poor relationships, they have this, that, and the other. So again, you got to look within to heal. So why are you telling me that my healing is out here some fucking way? Because it's not. It's not. It's not in Deacon so-and-so hand. It's not in that fucking bottle of olive oil that you got on the it's not there. It's all up in here, and I can work it out with him, but or them. But at the end of the day, it's me.
I'm the one with the power.
It's me. I'm the one with the power.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about religion.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For me, I went through a very, very dark time, and praying and seeking really helped me transform my life. It had nothing to do with the church. It was through prayer, seeking, and crying out. And that's right. That's what we're saying. It's like you have to, but you use some key words. It's like, I went seeking. So yourself, you finding the power under your own, your own power to go find that. You know what I'm saying? So you did all of that, but it was all you that made that happen because you went seeking. But you didn't go and say, "Oh, I'm dealing with this," and in the church and everybody around there and deacon so and so and prophet is this and minister this was you got to go out here and do all this, and they was
creating codependency.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
Doing all this shit. It's like that's not it. You know what I'm saying? That's not it, and that's why. That's what I say. It's hard to trust because people they gonna tell you anything, and I'm not saying everybody, but from my experience, until I got to this last church, like the one I will only go to, until I got to that, people will sell you any damn thing, and it don't matter if they up there preaching for God or they out on the goddamn corner. They the same motherfuckers. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. That's why I'm like, it's hard to really get into that and really just, give you all, because once you start to go more and more and more and more and life evolves around you, you naturally as a human are evolving. Your logic evolves. You're not using the same logic you used 2 or 3 years ago. You're going to come to your own conclusions and you're going to start to wake up and realize something is just not adding up. And that's what I'm saying.
That's what, for me, I feel like it's already in me.
Yeah.
I feel like,
I
feel like I've already been given the power to deal with me. It's the truth. I mean, like even when people get, I don't believe in the terminology Christian. So that's probably where we on 2 different pages. The whole terminology Christian to me it carries so many things that I feel like I don't want to be a part of. But again, I respect anybody's path. But for me, I feel like, I've been in both places, Gwen, where it's like, I feel like I got to go out. I got to look outside of me to find something that could keep me, in this good place, I guess. And what I learned in my life is it's always temporary. When I go inside myself and I say, I'm going to use that connection with them to make sure that I can heal me, that's when I've been able to maintain something. And that's just how I look at it, but again, to each his own. And what I learned throughout my walk with God, I'm not going to call it my life as a Christian. I'm going to say what I learned throughout my walk with God throughout my spiritual journey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I learned is that different areas of my life because I've had parts of my life when I was younger, when I had my first daughter, where I was ridiculously religious. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that was a good place for me at that time. So, evolution does occur.
It does.
And I'm to the place with God now where we know each other and they know, who I am and I know who they are. And like when I decided that I was totally done with religion, I had a conversation with God and I was straight honest. And I said, I'm not done with you, but I am done with religion. And I felt at peace with that. And I feel that's what I'm called to in my life. So to each their own, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's very important to know how to look within, because until you can solve a problem within, ain't no point in putting that Band-Aid on it. Because that's what that is. That's a Band-Aid. Oh, I don't need to do A-B. Like, you got Black people saying they don't need to see a therapist because God is their therapist. No, you need to see a therapist. Stop trying to pray your way out of some shit that you need to see a therapist for. Like, that's the honest truth. You need to look within yourself. For example, one of the things that always used to irritate me in church, when we would have these women in church and they would be like, having extramarital affairs or whatever, and they would have all of these kids out of quote unquote wedlock. I'm not coming up against nobody for having children before marriage. Your life and your path is your own. This is my example. So, in the Christian church growing up, you're not supposed to have kids out of wedlock, right? So, they would be saying that, oh, I'm trying to be kept. And they would say they being kept. If you never been in the Christian religion, then being kept means that you're not having sex if you're not married. But then they would pop up pregnant, right? And then they would always end up with somebody that just wasn't it. Like they shouldn't, have had a baby with them, right? Which again, I done been there with my oldest daughter. I'm not talking about nobody. But The real thing is because in your mind, you keep on telling yourself that religion is about to stop you from being in this cycle. And that's not about to stop you from being in this cycle.
No.
That's about to make you keep on hiding until your ass pop up pregnant and then everybody know your ass been lying for the past however long you say you've been being kept.
Right.
What you really need to do is go inside yourself and say, sis, you need to figure out why you keep picking the same nothing ass niggas to have babies with and lay down with. Why do you feel like you have to be out here, you know what I'm saying, giving your body away for validation? Is that a self-esteem issue? Is that a confidence issue? Did you not get enough attention when you was a child? Was you fatherless? Was you that shit you got to deal with inside? That religion ain't about to help you with that.
Nope.
So that's what I'm saying when I say look within. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been taught, you know, in religion to kind of like slap a band-aid on some shit that we really need to work through.
Yeah.
And that's not, I don't feel that at all.
That old familiar crutch.
Yes, everybody need a therapist at some point in their life. So my life changed when I started meditating. Just me and the Most High energy. No Bible, no church, no religion. That's where I'm at. We don't need church to be Christians. We saw that in the first. What's ignorant, Shalia?
Therapist.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So that's just how I feel, Gwen. But like I said, I've been in a place where I was very religious. There was a good place for me at that time. I feel like me and the Most High walked through my spiritual journey, and I needed to see all sides. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not knocking you for where you at all. Yeah, no, for real. Me and Trey didn't have a therapist. We got a therapist. My kids, my two oldest daughters is in therapy right now. So I feel like every Black person needs to see a therapist too. Even if you have the best upbringing, just look at the things that's around us that we see. I'm referring by religious, I'm referring to the whole infrastructure of Christianity and any other religion that is trying to control a person's life by telling them what to do and what not to do. That's what it's not just Christianity for me. There's other religions that I highly disagree with. I don't believe in telling somebody that because you are a Christian, you got to follow these rules. I believe that coming in contact with God and coming in contact with the Most High God is what brings about change and causes you to have a genuine change that will make you live a life that is honorable and with proper morals. Because when we tell people you can't do these things because you're a Christian or because you're whatever religion, two things happen. Number one, we present God as an obstacle, which breeds resentment, which a lot of people don't want to be honest about that they dealing with. That's number one. And number two is when we tell people that you can't do these things because this makes you a good Christian or whatever other religion, you cause them to live a double life, because truth be told, a lot of the motherfuckers are still doing it behind closed doors. I don't like the term Christianity. I feel like it's directly associated with the religion. I don't like the term Christian, and I feel like Christianity, all of those things are directly associated with religion. Yeah. That's what I mean. Because not necessarily the rules. I believe in the 10 Commandments, but I feel like everybody should be following those as a proper moral system.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are pretty much things that you don't do if you know right from wrong.
Period. And that I'm cool with, because it's like that I can understand, because that's basic life instructions. That's just living right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Living, that's just things. It's just the stuff around that, the little pieces that we adding in under all of that. Or God said this and now, you know what I'm saying? It's like they putting extra words in his mouth, like David said. You know, it's the rule, it's the unspoken rules or the rules that people then added that God is like, I ain't said none of that. Or Jesus said, I didn't put that in there. What the hell are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? It's that stuff for me too. You know,
honestly, Shalia, I don't really view Hinduism or Buddhism as religion. I kind of view them as a set of principles. I don't know that I really view them as a religion. It can get religious, you know, I guess if you like a monk or something, but I don't really see them as a religion. I kind of see them as a set of principles. Buddhist more so as a set of principles. My sister is Buddhist. She left Christianity I mean, yeah, I mean, it's probably been like 5 or 6 years, maybe longer than that. She ain't, well, she, at first, she went through like a 2 or 3 year period where she was like, I know God is up there, but I don't know in what way, shape, or form. And then she ended up being Buddhist. So, not sure if she refers to the universe. So I think the universe for her is God. I still refer to God. So I'll always be a believer in God because I've had personal experiences with God. So that's never gonna change for me. But I don't believe in religion. So we were supposed to deal with homosexuality. One of the big things that really turned me off about Christianity is how they treat homosexuals, and not only how they treat homosexuals, but how they've conditioned Black people to treat homosexuals exactly like white people treat, like racist people treat Black people. That irritates the shit out of me. It really does. Mm-hmm. I grew up with a mother that was gay who had a relationship with God, but basically didn't go to church because she knew that she wouldn't be accepted. So, I mean, seeing how Christians treated my mother, specifically her Christian mother, I can't. That's why Moses couldn't see the promised land, because he misrepresented God by striking the rock in anger when God wasn't angry. He was the representative of God.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
So, I feel like Christianity has just designed this fucking, what do you call it, campaign against gay people, and I'm just like, for real, y'all gotta fucking stop.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous at this point.
It's getting so ridiculous. I'm just like, for real, pastors will spend every Sunday preaching on homosexuality. I'm like, you ain't got nothing else to say. God ain't said nothing else. It's like, how can you say that you are a follower of Jesus Christ, but every sermon that you preach is about hating somebody? Mm-hmm. And people be talking about, oh, it's an abomination. I'm like, you got to keep on reading the Bible, because it's a whole bunch of abominations in the Bible. Gluttony is an abomination in the Bible. And I'm full right now off juice and pretzels. So it's just a lot of little bitty stuff that is like, over time, I'm just like, I can't. Another huge thing that I can't deal with is I don't like the way Christianity teaches Black people to be content with not having shit. Like, just being poor and shit. Yeah. Yeah, they don't ever talk about that other stuff. Your pastor be fat, but he over here preaching against homosexuality. Somebody's an abomination. And I don't got nothing against fat people at all. I just stopped being fat like 2 weeks ago. So that's not the thing, but it's like, talk to yourself first. I feel like one thing I know about God is, if you really, really talking to God, they're going to deal with your ass first. Yeah. Like, you got to deal with yourself before you start looking out here and talking to everybody else. Yeah, period. Sin is sin in God's eyes. And everybody always put levels on sins. I'm like, can you just stop? If the thief on the cross could go to heaven, yeah, you gonna, trust me, you're gonna be all right. I read the whole book of Proverbs several times. Girl, don't tell me that, young. Don't make me start posing. Don't tell me that. Because I already be thinking I'm fine. I got 57 crop tops in my Shein basket. I ain't been wearing nothing but crop tops. Ask Trey. Okay, so please don't gas me. Please do not gas me. I don't need no more gas. Trey been gassing me enough. and then throwing matches on it. So that's just me, on religion. It's not for me. And I'm not knocking nobody else's journey at all. Okay. I love God. I can't do the religion though. I really can't. I'm not knocking it at all if it's for you. And trust me, Gwen, I know the Bible. Ask Trey when he met me. It's, I think a personal relationship with God is the most important thing ever.
Most definitely. Many feel that way. Definitely they do. Amen. Amen. Amen, Dora. Y'all ever been in church and the pastor say that? Amen.
Define believer, Gwen. It depends on what you define believer as. Because I have a lot of people that say that to me, and then when they define believer, I be like, no, I'm not. So it depends on what you define believer as. Oh yeah, I believe in God. I definitely believe in God. That will never change for me. Like I said, me and God have been to some high places and some low places. I also I don't like the whole like something bad happened in your life and then you like God did this because he was going like. That's another thing. Stop making us feel like God just put all of this stuff on us. Like, just stop it.
Decisions, people. Decisions.
Yeah, that's another thing. The whole idea of like, people always, it takes a lot of things from us as a community that I feel like we really need, like accountability. Like the enemy is doing A, B, and C. The enemy ain't doing shit. Your ass is making bad decisions. That's what's going on here.
You need to deal with that.
Yeah, you need to deal with
like with the whole Derek Jackson shit. The enemy that's in them. Oh, Derek, you the one out here cheating on your damn wife.
Knock it off.
Enemy. The enemy didn't come and do all that shit that you was doing. You did that. So you need to take yourself and go sit somewhere in the corner, like I used to say that, and figure it out. Because the enemy, like my pop say, you giving too much credit to the enemy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Too much credit to the enemy, to the devil, whatever y'all want to call them. Yeah, you're giving too much credit. Like my favorite is the begging for money in church. I heard a preacher making fun of another church. He said that God has overextended himself once again, and he needs your help. He needs your help. Take out a loan. Give your rent. Anything here would help. That's my favorite too, David. I love when they say that. I know you lying, man. No, he ain't lying, because I done been in church and they didn't try to spin it some way. Had this prophet come down. We was in church one time where this prophet came to church and was telling people that he seen a vision of a certain number of people who was going to give this amount of money. Basically, the church was going to receive, I think, like $10,000. And he was pointing to people talking about, I seen you giving $100 bills. He pointed to us and I showed up, shamed his ass right in church. I said, I know God didn't tell you that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I know for sure because
I didn't even move.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know. And I didn't give because I'm just like, you out here with that bullshit. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, stop it. I've been in church plenty of times and looked at Coco and be like, there is some lying motherfuckers in here. Like, y'all just gonna use the Lord to lie? You see me give you $100 bill, sir? I don't even know you. I don't know that. You lying. You doing too much. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, see,
Me, when they be like, the Lord said that there's this much money in here. Get your seed in your hand. Me in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, this nigga freestyling.
Drop the mixtape. I'm like, I gotta get this nigga the number. Soon as
I don't care that you flew from so and so. I might give you $50. I'm sorry.
$100. The church is gonna rise up, and I seen $10,000. I bet you did, but you won't see it tonight. And if you do, it won't be from us, because I didn't hear nothing. I didn't feel no Holy Ghost fall over me. I didn't do none of that. I consult with the Lord. That's how I be knowing. I got discernment for real. When I'm in church, I have discernment like a motherfucker, and it's so bad because God knows me. He knows his child. And he know when there's some BS going on, it's like my spidey senses start tingling. Because I'm telling you, don't I always say that? Like, for real, it's like my spidey senses start tingling. When there's some bullshit going on in the church, that's when I be alert. I be like, what did you say? No, that ain't right, player. No, you didn't hear that. You didn't see that. You're lying. You know, that's when it's time to put the one finger out because it's time for us to exit.
That's the other thing. And Gwen, if you're reading Proverbs, then you should know this. It really irritates me when pastors be living like these lavish lifestyles. I'm not saying that they can't have a good life. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. But you got helicopters and mansions and all of these. You flying from one church to another.
Yeah, superstar.
And you got people in your congregation that can't even keep food on their table. And you know, we didn't got to this place in the church, quote unquote. By church, I mean, you know, people who believe in God as a whole. We didn't got to this place where we feel like the pastor's supposed to be on this pedestal. And like I said, if you been reading Proverbs, then you know that ain't never supposed to be that way. Like when you choose to be a pastor, when you choose to be a prophet, when you choose to be any of these things, okay, you are choosing a life of servitude.
And what did she just
say?
Stop
trying to make everybody in the lie and yeah, very
and right on point, Gwen.
Stop trying to make everybody in the church stop trying to make the church financially support you. That's always been a thing for me. Like, you're choosing a life of servitude. You're not supposed to be put on no pedestal. No. Okay? Stop that.
You're supposed to be down here with the people.
Now, that's one thing I could give old school church when I grew up. Like, when I grew up, you really didn't have pastors doing all of that. That's kind of like a new thing.
That is a new thing.
Like 20
These
years.
new young ones that's being pastors.
Making it a career.
23 years old, and now they a pastor all of a sudden. Now they want you to give. For real, we sat in the church one time, y'all, and we watched them before our eyes. I promise you not. They raised $500,000 in our faces. We sat there that whole time. People in their church homeless. I promise you, I am not lying, okay? This pastor had 3 churches, 3 campuses. 2 where we was in Houston at the time, and 1, well, let's not say that. Well, but he had 3 churches, right? And he was flying. He had 2 services flying. He would go to his North Campus church, and then he would fly to the South Campus church on the same day. Then he had one that was just not out. I promise you, the little church he had one in Beaumont. The little church in Beaumont, they raised like $100,000. Y'all, for real. We sat in that service because they had a special whatever service. The line was wrapped up around the corner. Okay, people was going up there giving $5,000. This lady gave 20 grand. Okay, in cash. This other dude just come. I mean, just lining up. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, this is not the will of God. What are y'all doing? $500,000? Like, literally, no BS. Sat there the whole way. And they raised $500,000 between them 3 churches. And I was just like, that's why don't nobody come and bring their ass to church.
Another time we went to the church.
And people riding the bus, people out here talking about, can you take me home after church? People houses in foreclosure. People ain't got no damn food. Y'all ain't even got a goddamn food drive. And y'all raising $500,000. You mean to tell me y'all can't even take it and feed some people up here? Y'all telling people pay for plates and doing all that shit? I was like, no. I was like, nope. The love of money. But you know what? People, they do what they want to do. And that's why I was like, I don't trust nobody in that shit. It's only been one person. Like I said, I'll go to one church right now because he has actually embodied the pastor life. Being there, being of the people, being serving, and being equal. Other than that, all them other people pulling up in Bentleys and flying helicopters and got mansions. And
the lady was about to get evicted and everybody was giving her money.
Yeah, right? Then he gonna stop.
Yeah. He gonna stop and be like, real quick, while y'all giving her money, y'all need to remember that y'all still got to pay y'all tithes because this is not fertile ground for you. Got to sow in the fertile ground. I'm like, is he serious? So basically, please don't give her all your money because we still need our tithes. I still need my money. I'm like,
yeah. Lady was on the floor crying, about to get evicted, or was in the process.
Her and her 5 kids
was getting evicted. Everybody, hell, I did. I emptied out my wallet. I don't even know how much money I had that day in my wallet. It might have been $200 $200 or $300. I went up there with no hesitation. Everybody else was dumping money in this lady lap. She probably made her rent 6-7 times over, depending on how it was. And he stopped the whole congregation talking about we still got to give tithes. And I'm like, is he serious? Did he really just say that?
He was dead serious.
And he was dead serious.
It's hard for a rich man to make it to heaven. I disagree with that.
It sounds like a church anniversary / fundraiser. Blank. I think that is because many rich people choose riches over everything else. Yeah, it's definitely.
I think that mindset is kind of what I'm talking about. Religion, like you feel like when people have money that they automatically, like, you know, I'm not saying this is necessarily what I'm not necessarily saying that that this is how you feel, but I think, you know, religion has kind of taught us that in order to make it to heaven, like, we got to be poor, or we got to just have, or we can't be prosperous, kind of, you know what I mean? I think that's part of the trick for us in the Black community is in order to have, you know, to live a godly life, I can't be
prosperous.
I can't be prosperous.
And that don't necessarily mean though that, you know, I think prosperity gets confused with all that. I think that it's the intention behind it. Like I read a devotion the other day, and you know, it was talking about greed and the love of money and all of these things. And he wants us to be prosperous and successful. It's just what we do with that, or how we obtain that is really the key for him. I think that if we using that to sow seeds and help people and do all of that, then I think that that's a plus. But if we doing it to where it's like you know, with the pastor who stopped the lady, you know, I think when it's in the form of being greedy, then I think that that's where the sin comes in, or that's where the bad things happen, because then you're no longer pure at heart doing it for him. I think you're doing it for yourself in those actions. And I think that's what it is. Because he definitely wants prosperity. I would say he definitely does. And he wants everybody to have, you know, the riches of the kingdom. And, you know, he's done a lot of stuff for that. But I just think how we get there, how we use it, once we obtain that is really the key, and the test is what he's watching out for. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people get to that point and then they just like, you got to keep feeding that because I'm greedy. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to get out of that. You know, you're in the superstar spirit, and you got to check yourself, because, you know, that ain't no easy career. That ain't no easy position to be in. So, excuse me.
I think it's when people worship money.
Yeah.
I can agree. I don't know. I'm not going to say that because that's going to offend some people. I'm just going to keep going.
Leaning on what I can do versus leaning on God. And I think it's when people worship money. Yeah.
But I don't. What do you mean, David? Because I don't disagree with leaning on what you can do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't disagree with leaning on self. I think that God has already given us the power to be successful. We have to tap into it. That's how I feel. That's what I meant earlier by this whole outsourcing situation.
I saw him stuck in my throat.
You don't think God is living in people? Or are you talking about the God complex? Because
I think he's saying the God complex.
Right. That's how I feel, Gwen. I think, like, if you are a Christian and you believe in the Trinity and you believe in the Holy Spirit, and you say that if you say you receive the Holy Spirit, and
complex.
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree with that.
And you say God is within you, then I say that wouldn't be totally off. We made in his image. I mean, I don't think you should think I'm God in the way as I'm the most high God, but I think you are definitely the God in your life as far as being able to tap into the power that God has given you to
It's
to
important
make changes in your life.
It's important to wake up and know that we all are kings and queens in our own right, because if God has made in our image, if we are a reflection of Him, then obviously
that's why I can't believe that it's just him.
Right. Obviously,
him as in the
as the one pronoun.
Yeah.
She's referring. Yeah. But obviously, I forgot what I was saying. But if we was a reflection of Him, then obviously, we have to have some type of confidence. I don't even want to use confidence because it's like, I feel like it's too little for what I'm trying to say. But we have to have some type of confidence instilled in us, because obviously we made in a reflection of Him, an image of Him. But I do agree with that. People do get to a certain point where they take that to the next level and believe that they are the actual person. You know what I mean? I think, being. Yeah, the being, or the, like I am God. They do get to that. So then that's definitely a huge problem. But I do believe to a certain extent that we have to believe that we are, like Coach said, we got the power already within us. So once we begin to tap into that and things happen, I mean, we got to start to believe right then and there that we more powerful than what, we think we are, or people might, lead us to believe. Now, we're not just going out saying that, because, I have these powers, or that I have these gifts, or whatever they want to call them, that I'm God, because we recognize that there's, a Most High. But I just feel like we still do have some type of, it's a byproduct. We still have some type of connection with Him, to be able to do all of that still. So, I think there is people though, with the God complex. I mean, that's always, something bad, because then that whole notion is just, I am God. I am in that position now. I'm that being because I'm so high, or whatever they feel like, creates that in there. So,
well, are you asking a question, Gwen, when you say power and authority?
Right. Yeah, I think she was saying to that. Right, the power and authority. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't want to say confidence, but yeah, I definitely want to say that. And then, like the devil said, I will be lift up as God. Yeah, that's the God complex.
I don't know, again, I just have so many issues with religion. Like this whole idea that we was just created to worship. And this whole, it's just a lot of things that I feel like, for instance, with even the notion of the devil and him being put in, to hell and so on and so forth. It's like, I just kind of feel like, if you really sit down and think about religion, the way it was put to us, it really sounds like a sick ass game. If I'm just being honest, like it really sounds like God is very, very selfish. Yeah, like, and that He just created us to suffer, and I don't believe. We know that's untrue. Right, and that's why I don't like religion. Yeah. So, this whole just, if you do this, you're going to hell. If you do that, you're going to hell. These talks open up conversations, which I love. What do you think we're made for? I think that I'm not sure what we're made for. I think that I do think though that I'm not 100% sold on the ideal of heaven. I think there is a variation of heaven, but the way that we know it, I don't really believe in heaven in that way. Like how I was taught, like when we get to heaven, all we're gonna be doing is worshiping God, and I don't really believe in that. I think that we all live a life path, and we learn what we need to learn to get to our highest self. Mm-hmm. And then I think once we get to our highest self, we live our life in our highest self as our highest self, and then we go to heaven. Right. Or return to our soul group is what I think. I don't see it as the way we was taught to see it in Christianity. Yeah, I say God wants a relationship with us too.
Most definitely.
But couldn't He get that relationship in a lot of different ways. It still sounds like a sick ass game is what I'm saying. So he created us because he wanted a relationship with us. So instead of just making it to where we all have a relationship with him, then he just make it to where he created us so that we can have a free will. And then, once we have the free will, we could choose him or not choose him. It's like the thought process that God is all being and God is all being and God is has all of this power that he can that they can make any changes that they want to. Then believing that he allowed it to get to this point just so we could choose him really sounds absurd.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this is practice for our most highest self life.
I think Gwen,
so we don't fuck it up on the real shit.
I think so. And Gwen, like you said, I agree. You still learning. Everybody's still learning, and it's a journey indeed. That's really all it is. Everybody gonna have their own path. Everybody have their own journey to walk with, and start to realize in that. And I think towards the end, we start to all come together and start to kind of see, okay, and everybody maybe not. Everybody have different. The way they they say perception is reality. So whatever you perceive to be, your right or whatever you think in your own self on this subject, you know what I mean, or things like that. When it comes to religion, God, the relationship, then to each their own. That's it. Whatever you have, God has each individual. His relationship with me don't look nothing like his relationship with her. It's two totally different things. So
what you saying yes to, Yanni? Like, I don't actually believe in hell because it doesn't make sense based on scripture. I believe two things when in reference to hell. Number one, you could create your own hell right now in life by poor choices or forgetting what you came here to do and getting off course. That's number one. Or number two, you could create your own hell in the next life by poor choices in this current life.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we talking about like Derek Chauvin. Like this life, for him, last life he could have lived as something else. This life, he living as a racist ass white cop. Next life, he probably gonna live as a black man.
To see, he gave us a choice to choose from the beginning.
Yeah.
And when those who don't choose him get bad enough, he allows them to either be whipped out or he whips you out.
I don't believe that. I believe that God gave us a decision in this life. Like, we agreed to something in this life, like something simple, like that maybe I agreed to learn forgiveness in this life so that next life it'll be easier for me to forgive, or it'll be easier for somebody to forgive. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the lesson is in this life, I learned so that I can go to the next life and use that knowledge in the next life to continue to get to my highest self.
Yeah.
So I believe that whatever it is that's happening in my life right now, I made this agreement with God before I started living this life path, whatever life path I'm on. And I feel that I was saying yes to the concept of heaven and your highest self. I absolutely do not believe in the concept of heaven and hell as we are.
Yeah, for sure. Me either.
So I feel like whatever it is, whatever knowledge it is for me to learn, like, for example, like the role that I played in Trey's life as his wife kind of makes me feel like in a past life, maybe he was my child. Not saying that he irresponsible or anything, but I know that God has used me to guide him towards the life that he wants him to have, right? Or that to whatever lesson he's supposed to learn in his life, whatever the case may be, right? So in this life, maybe I was supposed to learn anything, how to forgive, how to, it could be several different things. I don't know, but whatever it is, I feel that in my next life, I need that to be successful in order to get to my highest self and live my actual life as my highest self. So the concept of this whole ideal that we need to live this perfect life so we can get to heaven. I think heaven is me existing as my highest self.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's how I feel. And this is kind of like the trial run You know,
until we get to
it's teaching me the lessons that I need.
Because they always say ascend.
Yeah.
And you going up, and higher is the same thing. The more you go higher, the more you ascend. So I'm like, if they talking about we ascending to heaven, then you have to realize that, that's how I felt too. It's like, okay, this is trial runs to get. It's like a ladder. It's like I'm starting here, and I'm just, as the lifetimes go, I keep going until I've reached my pinnacle, and I have, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm operating in the highest version of myself I absolutely be, and I believe that is heaven.
And then I feel like that's where you live out your purpose. Right. I think we have a purpose in every life.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I feel like we all got soul groups, you know, like, for example, when I met Trey, it felt like I had met him before. You know what I'm saying? When I had my first child, it felt like I had been in a lifetime with her before, right? You meet people that you don't really know, but they feel familiar kind of thing. I feel like those people that's kind of like in your soul group, they call it your tribe, right? So I feel like, you know, and a lot of times things happen to you, and you kind of like, if this person wasn't in my life, I wouldn't have got to this point. I feel like those people are kind of doing their part in this life.
Yeah.
The same way, right? So that's how I feel about that. I don't believe in eternal hell. Yeah. I believe you create your own hell.
Yeah, for sure. David said, where does this idea of next life come from? And then he says, so reincarnation. So like reincarnation.
He's not necessarily reincarnation, not like reincarnation, because in reincarnation you could be a dog, you could be a cow, you could be any living species.
Yeah, I think any energy form.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that.
Yeah, I don't per se know about maybe that as far as to an extent, but yeah, I definitely do believe like
that's exactly, Yanni. I don't believe I know God to be a graceful God. I know him to be like a parent to me.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that.
He would let us live this one life, and like you said, Yanni,
he teaching me something
to get it right. Because my thing is, you learning at every turn. So I think he's showing us, okay, you had this chance, and this is what, if you choose a life of evil, then this is what this yields. But then I don't feel like that's our ending fate, because I feel like as a parent, you show both sides. So I think you show the ramifications of the bad things, but then you also say, okay, listen, if you are on this side of good, then this is what happens as well. And I don't really see God just saying, hey, listen, well, you messed up the one life that you had because you chose evil, and then that's it. I don't really believe that's the notion of that.
David, the thing that bothers me about what you're saying is, isn't he God? I mean, aren't they God, and they are all knowing? Didn't they already know we was going to choose condemnation? Why create us?
Yeah.
And there's no condemnation in Christ Jesus.
That dies at a young age. They died at 7. That's it. That's all. They get 7 years and they are done. No. Yeah. Same thing. Exactly. There's something to be taught in everything. And I just feel like that's where that's where they are coming in at. So this is where I think we will never know anything. We'll never know anything. And is the beautiful part of life. Knowing, if
you meditate, then you know if you've been here or not.
Yeah.
If you're a dreamer, you know if you've been here or not. People have children, and you know for sure they've been here. My oldest daughter, honestly, I could say they all been here before. My youngest daughter is so intuitive. Like, she will make you feel like she need love because she know you need love. She learned that from somewhere else. He does know, so why waste his time? That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
And don't say so he can give us a chance, because we wouldn't even know we had a chance if he never created us. Or they never created us.
I see what Gwen's saying to a certain extent. Like, yeah. I mean, we'll never know for sure everything, but I do think
I know for sure I've been here before.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying everything, like to the point T. But I do know that I feel like, there are some pieces of knowledge and things that are offered up to us as a kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but as a kind of to know, like, yeah, like you said, I've been here before, or there's been to make you believe into that notion, because I feel like we wouldn't even be talking on the subject of past lives and all of these group soul ties and all that if somebody hadn't thought and said that, or had some type of experience or dream, or like you said, for that notion to come. I think that you're right. Maybe we don't know every stroke of everything, but I do believe for sure, like, there's pieces where it's definitely like, I know for sure that happened, and then there's questions, of course, but yeah, I think for sure it's like you gonna know. Nah.
It's like reading a book. The story is written. Who wrote the story? Because a man wrote the story. So if you really trust men like that, then go for it. You know, God is a theory because we don't know. That's what we call, the highest. I definitely know something is there, but it is a theory that there is a most high being, so on and so forth. Because I had this conversation with my sister before, like when you feel like you are communicating with the most high God, you could just be communicating with your higher self.
Yeah, you could.
What?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Because, for example, like when I was a Christian, the Holy Spirit, I always been able to talk to Spirit, right? So I would always say, if the Holy Spirit is inside of you, I feel like that's what I feel like the Holy Spirit inside of you is what we refer to as our conscience.
Yeah.
And when you finna do some fucked up shit, your conscience is really telling you, like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be like, oh, well, I don't hear the Holy Spirit. I'm like, if you have a conscience, then your first mind, in my opinion, would be the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Which your higher self is what you learn once God done taught you. I mean, who you learn to become once God done taught you everything. Yep. So that's how I feel about it. This person just popped in here. I was like, who this is? Same old song. Hey, welcome. You new here?
Gotta be.
I ain't never seen you before. But same old song. How do you feel like reincarnation makes more sense? Yeah, I'm taking off my nails because 2 of them broke, and I got an interview to go to tomorrow. And I was gonna go get one fixed, but then the other one broke too, and I was working out today, so I was like, forget it. Yanni, when are you moving here? Because I feel like we could be BFFs. I really do. We like low key the same person. You wrote the story of your own life. I think we did write the story of our own life, but not in the way that you think we wrote it. All things go well. What you saying? Good luck to Gwen. Oh, the interview. Okay, it's just a part-time job because we was making too much money. Gig economy, and I was like, dang, I don't want to have to owe taxes next year. So I was like, I gotta get it a job that's actually gonna take taxes. Okay, we finna get off of here, but we need to know what kind of content y'all want because we about to start back making actual videos. And do y'all like content like this? Because if so, I need y'all to send me subjects. Oh, not 10K. Here she go with it got pushed back. Which, yeah, I do keep up with my tax write-offs. We did pretty good this year, but I don't want to take no chances because you know how that go. I don't want to owe. I don't care if I don't really get nothing, but I don't want to owe. What?
I think on YouTube.
But same old song. When did you get here? Are you new? Well, I know you knew, but when did you start following it? Ooh, 5 hours. Yeah, you gotta go.
David, you supposed to be gone. Come on now, old school.
You know you need your 8 hours.
Talking about me. You didn't pass your little nap time. But good night, David. It's always good chatting with you. You know, many blessings on you and the family. And you know, y'all have a good night and be easy out here, man. People is doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, for real. Just y'all be careful, please.
Please be careful.
Okay, what do y'all want us to talk about next week live?
We'll try to make sure we be on time.
Any ideas? Oh, okay. So you followed us from when we were RVing. Are you black? Gotta be black if you following black RVers because you probably thinking the same thing we was thinking.
Maybe not. Maybe they just like RVing. It's always random and I like that. Yeah. For real, our subscribers still be growing when we don't even put up videos. That's the beautiful thing about this YouTube stuff is that you know, y'all should vlog your life / progress.
Like what? Like what progress do you want to know about?
We tried to do well. We didn't give it a yeah. I'm black. Yes, I also second vlogging. Okay, I mean we'll try.
Y'all never watch our vlogs though.
I mean we only had one. That was Estes Park. We didn't really
we
do
had
anything.
A few.
Like what else?
I gotta look, but we definitely had a couple.
Most of it has just been regular. Oh, I guess the zoo was one.
Mm-hmm.
That was vlogging. I do. Go ahead and say I do.
Gwen, your channel is doing good.
No. When last time you talked to what you call it and to make sure that they was okay?
Who?
We usually check in with them. Angelica. Do you still got her on any of the socials?
Yeah, I do, but she be going to my stories, but
okay.
So they all right. They just recently moved though.
So I guess
it's a vlog, but
so vlogging, we'll try that. We will definitely try our hand at vlogging. I don't know what I'm doing with it. Just filming hair dry stuff, DIY stuff. We really like it here so far. Get into some like scenery and stuff. People always love to live through scenery. That's always
but they don't never watch it though fully.
It takes time for channels to grow. My constructive criticism: be more steady with the camera operation and editing. It takes time, I understand. Yeah, for sure. It does take time. All right, y'all. I know it's almost midnight by me, and I wake up at 5 a.m. for the gym. Good night, black people.
Good night, Yanni.
Good night, Yanni. We've been hiking every weekend. Yeah, it's so nice up here. And same old song. Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, it takes a while. So we'll try to get more. Yeah, do that. I go on trails. I got it on the trail. I go on the Trails app. It's beautiful here. Yeah, it definitely is. It's something that I think it got some of the best scenery in the U.S. I'm just gonna put it down. I'm ready
for summer though.
I don't think that there's. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other places, but Colorado is just one of those places that is up here. Like that's it's just a marvel to look at, and you'll never get tired of it. Yeah. So So we'll do vlogging, and then we'll editing. Utah is prettier.
Yeah, but you don't want to live in Utah.
Yeah, maybe so. I will. I don't know.
Zion is beautiful.
Zion is beautiful. Zion National Park. You're right. So,
but you don't
I
wanna
like
live in
lifestyle
Utah.
content. I like to watch people do activities, even if it's done the same, in my opinion. But Colorado is a close second. Yeah, I can switch them even out because Zion is very pretty. But okay, we'll do. We'll try vlogging and then mix it in maybe with some other things. I think we over the Colorado content.
Yeah, we are.
So unless there's a specific like video or specific something that y'all want to see, we'll see about it. But
same old song must have watched some of our early videos and we didn't have our camera steady because we usually don't.
Yeah.
We usually don't even do vlogs anymore like that.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that one trip was a vlog.
This was a couple of them that was coming.
You're right. That has been a couple of vlogs. Cherry Creek.
Mm-hmm.
That was a vlog. When we stopped in Wichita and y'all went on that trail, the camera was shaking the whole time.
Yeah, that's when we first started.
Yeah, but I think you did that on your phone too.
I mean, our channel has grown, but we really not like, we don't really care like that.
It takes patience to grow channels. Be patient, definitely. Oh yeah, no, we won't.
I mean, we really not super.
Yeah, we keep them steady with it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna.
We kind of do it for fun, but we don't really care.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, listen, we're gonna let y'all go and make it. It's I don't know where everybody's located, but except for Gwen. But everybody else, I know y'all wherever y'all are, and we don't want to keep y'all up all night. So good night. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We will make sure we stay in tune with the videos and some other stuff. We'll try to keep up with that and all of that. So we will definitely holler at y'all. And when are y'all posting again? We will probably we
do lives every Tuesday.
We do lives every
Tuesday because we had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then we need people to send us subjects they want us to cover if they want us to cover certain subjects. But we are gonna post a video probably this upcoming week.
Yeah. So if y'all got the Instagram, can y'all send us some subjects, or y'all can send them on here, I guess, through other videos, or I don't know, however y'all want to comment on the videos. But if y'all got the Instagram, y'all can send them through there too. So that way we know kind of like, what y'all want to hear, what y'all, want to see and
first
things
we
like
gonna
that.
do our podcast video.
Yeah. We starting a podcast.
Well, we already got the podcast.
I mean, we already got the podcast. We just, going to update with some more episodes and all of that too. So Tuesday we do lives, and then we'll probably do one actual video towards the end of the week. We haven't picked the day, maybe maybe Tuesday and a Friday, or Tuesday and a Saturday night, or Tuesday and Sunday, or something like that. So we will definitely let y'all know. If y'all follow us on IG, then just know that y'all can send us messages through there, and then we can go from there. So yeah. So
good night.
Good night, y'all. We will holler at y'all. Definitely, y'all have a good night, and y'all be safe. All my people, be safe out there because it's crazy. So please be safe. Take the precautions y'all need, and don't take it for granted. And we'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Hmm.